Welcome to UltiWorld's live coverage of the 2019 Pro Championships. Final round from day one here just outside of Philadelphia between Boston Snake Country and Fort Collins. Shame with Keith Rayner. I am Daniel Prentice to bring you this game in mixed play. Keith, a couple of teams that both have nationals aspirations this year. We're looking forward to seeing in this one.
Snake Country, a semifinalist last year, and these are two teams that are finishing out a long, hard day of elite-level ultimate, but have proven to be some of the top competitors in the country. I think we really want to see the depth show out at this point in the day when you've really had to push through. But the question is, what do they have on the line? What do they have to play for? And we'll see what these two teams do coming out into this game that, could be a decisive one in where they stand moving forward in the landscape of the mixed division.
It has definitely been a long day for the players, for us as well. One final round here on the opening day of the long weekend here at the final tournament of the weekend. You see Shame in red. Looks like they will be starting on defense in this one. Just a couple of moments away from getting underway.
Shame's had a pretty successful start to the season. I think they're probably best known for their kind of loose style of play and presence on the sideline. They like to have a good time. But I think it's easy for people to fail to recognize how effective this team can be on the field.
And here comes the opening pull, a big bladey rainbow. You see Snake Country out there in white. Starting on offense, it's Brian Garcia to get the first touch for Snake Country. He centers to Peter Pryle. Pryle with the push pass back to Garcia. Now the under to Pierce McNaughton. His pass back to the middle, a little floaty, but Garcia able to get to it, but a little lackadaisical trying to find Pryle. So Shame will take over with the short field chance to break. Gainer to the far sideline. Now in the hands of Alexandra Daniels. She resets to Vinny Fiaco, and he continues to the end zone. So a perfect start for Shame. They get the break to start.
Well, that was quick. I mean, Shame gets a giveaway, and then 3 passes later, punch it in the end zone to get this break to start things off against Snake Country. This is the first matchup between these two teams this season. Snake Country has defeated every team they've played except for Amp Slow White, Dragon Thrust, Wildcard, so really the upper crust of the division.
Not the start Snake Country would have wanted, though. That unforced turnover and then pretty easy offense for Shame back the other way. It was Jade McLaughlin finishing that move off.
So Shame sends the defense back out. Brought out a couple of new players to the line. Kira Lindgren among them. Lindgren coming over from Molly Brown and played with the U.S. Women's Under-24 national team in their gold medal winning campaign, the recent U24 World Championships.
Lindgren really a pretty important player for that Molly Brown team, a strong player defensively. I think she was trying to spend a little less time committed to Ultimate this summer. So playing with Shame this season. We see Snake Country back out there on offense. Disc with Alex Grinsweig. Grinsweig gets it to Garcia. Swing on the give-go. And caught right on the front of the end zone by Kim Kolpin. So Snake Country, after the turnover and giving up the break on the opening point, able to respond just how they would have wanted. They get the clean hold.
Kolpin, another really effective player for this Snake Country team. Been with them for all 2 years of the program's existence. Their toe taps on the front line. Played with Brute Squad prior to joining this Snake Country team. So we'll get our first look at Shame's offense and Snake's defense. See some of the other new additions to this Shame team. They have Owen Westbrook, Sarah Pesh.
Pesh, another former Molly Brown player. Westbrook playing with Johnny Bravo. So players staying local, but switching divisions, and Shame definitely the benefactors. Already a Nationals team a season ago was Shame after stealing the bid from Denver Love Tractor.
Love Tractor, of course, at this tournament, fighting for their bid lives, really, trying to earn another bid for the South Central. Would not like to be in another one-bid region having to go through this Shame team this year.
An early big huck from Kevin Coulter. And going up and making the grab for the score, Nick Snushka. Impressive elevation there from the Shame cutter. Goes up and brings that one down.
And, you know, that's probably just how they practiced it. I don't know if they do actually practice, but, I mean, they're going to be really comfortable with an early huck to Snushka, the team's premier athlete, and letting him go and get the disc. You could see why as Snushka elevates. Defense with no chance. Not on that one.
Looked like Snushka had a personal trampoline out there that he was not willing to share with the defender.
That seems illegal. I feel like I don't think it's in the rules that you can't use a trampoline, but if it's not, it should be. They should look at that for the next edition.
But I get behind this, a trampoline version of Ultimate, like I forget the exact name.
Slam ball,
yep. The trampoline version of basketball. I could definitely get behind that. I think you'd have to change the scoring a little bit probably, but would definitely be spectator friendly, I think. Snushka giving us a little preview of what that might look like with the springs on that grab.
Our first look at the Shame O-line was a very brief one. They'll send the D-line back out.
Big pull going down. It's caught by Greensweig. Kolpin goes up for that one, and she's going to send a hook further downfield. Tipped, though, and unable to be saved by Allison Springer, who had plenty of separation deep. The throw, though, a little bit lacking. And as a result, Shame will have a chance to add another break to their tally.
Ashley Morgan getting a piece of that. Played with Scandal and Molly Brown previously, known as a speedster.
Ashley Daly Morgan working her way open underneath for that initial pass off the end zone. Now able to get off the reset. Contact on the mark on Fiacco, sending that throw backwards. So looks like the disc will come back.
Come in, stall one.
Garcia on the mark. No contest on the foul. So the disc will come back, stall at 1. Big backhand here. Shame again looking to stretch the field. It's incomplete, but we do have another call.
Right. Right. So play. No. So the play stops immediately as soon as you catch it. If it's in the air to you. If it's in the, yeah. The pick, oh wait, the pick, this is the women's pick call, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as you catch it, play's dead. Yeah. That is the one. That's the one. Yes. Yeah. That's the one continuation. Yes. 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 Disc comes back. Yeah.
So you got to listen in on the field there. Looks like this is going to come back to the throw.
Okay, let's go.
Ryan Garcia not in agreement initially about the way this continuation rule was going to work. But possession's going to stay with Shame. So the mistake erased.
And Zach Fleming settling for the much shorter throw up the line this time, but another big huck this time from Fiacco, and another big grab in the end zone. My goodness, Shame. A couple of big elevator grabs in the end zone for the score. Shame adds another break. Strong start for them.
The run and gun game is going to favor Shame and the athleticism that they bring, the aggressive style of play. And the Snake Country defense has not been able to take Shame out of that style of play so far.
Joe Anderson going up. Big over the defender.
Great grab by Shame, coming down with another jump ball. So they'll get to send the defense back out there and keep trying to build momentum and perhaps an even bigger lead. Peter Rains, Joe Anderson looking on.
And you see on the line for Shame some mismatching jerseys. Apparently their jerseys have not come in yet. Unfortunate for them. At this point in the season, still haven't gotten those jerseys in.
Yeah, we're at the end of the regular season already. Yeah, it's hard to say whether it could be an ordering issue.
See the pull coming down from Rains. Garcia, as has been the case, gets that centering pass. Now with Kolpin here on the near sideline. Garcia able to work his way free.
Anderson applying a lot of pressure, physical with Garcia, trying to defend the veteran with his size. But it's Casey Anderson who actually gets the turnover, the block against McNaughton on that opposite sideline.
So the Snake Country offense continues to struggle here early. Will be another break opportunity for Shame. There's Anderson with the disc, gets off the reset to Chris Gowan. Stoppage downfield with the disc back in Anderson's hands.
Anderson creating some yardage underneath on that break side against Garcia. Liable to be on the receiving or throwing end of more big throws for Shame.
He drops it back to Rains that time around. Rains cutting strike, trying to get open for the reset. And then ultimately an easy block for Davis Whitehead as Shame ran out of time there trying to get the reset off.
Great reset defense by Shame, cutting off the options, forcing the contested throw.
Garcia brings it underneath to Whitehead, the player who just earned the disc for Snake. McNaughton now going to send a forehand downfield. Doesn't look like that one's going to come back in bounds. Out of bounds really the whole way, out of the hands of McNaughton.
Kirsten going to be frustrated there. Kirsten Lundquist made a couple of deep cuts. That time left her defender on the ground, held her hands out, signaling I'm wide open, and finally gets the throw, and it's not even in bounds.
So Shame takes over once again, looking for another break. Already have two in the early stages. Anderson beating Garcia underneath. Looking for Rains now, but again, tight reset defense. And that throw pulling Rains out of bounds. So again, Snake Country, their offense taking the disc back over. Take another look at the bid to try to save that catch. And now a big forehand, again staying out of bounds the whole way. Garcia this time the one with the errant pass.
Turnovers coming quickly here. Rains' toes coming off before he could get the toe in, and then Garcia's huck stays out of bounds the whole way. So good field position now for Shame. Rains getting ready to check it in, nearly exactly where the toe in failed earlier.
Rains looking for Anderson in the middle. He's able to connect. Anderson to the far sideline to Elizabeth Murphy. She'll be the one who has it as play comes to a stop.
Vertical stack look now from Shame.
Okay, coming in one. Okay, coming in one. When you're ready.
Murphy looking to reset. Does find space to Anderson. This vertical stack really going to rely on their ability to get side to side.
So the high release from Anderson reeled in, and then the throw right back to him. So Anderson all over the place on that point. He ends up getting the hockey assist and the goal. Shame gets another break.
Shame roaring out of the gates with a pretty surprising start, and Snake Country sputtering through these first 5 points. Have not seen much cleanliness from them. Wonder if we're going to get a timeout as they try and tighten things together, but as I hear the timeout call in the distance, a prescient moment, but I think it's very understandable right now. The offense just not clicking.
Nothing going right for Boston Snake Country, so they will call a timeout, try to get it sorted for the other side. It's been all Shame really here so far, up 4-1, 3 breaks to their name. Sluggish start for Boston Snake Country. Surprising, they've played pretty well this weekend to this point. A couple of wins, sitting at 2-1, and in second place on goal difference in Pool B. with wins over North Carolina, Toro, and New Jersey Jug Handle. Shame currently sitting at 1-1, so this is a big game for placement in the pool, looking ahead to bracket play.
So out of the timeout now, Snake Country setting out some new personnel, mixing things up after the O-line couldn't really get them off to a great start. Hoping they can get a little bit of ignition here for the rest of the team. Peter Pryle joining the line out there.
And really they'll be looking for just anything to start clicking, particularly on that last point offensively. It's clearly in no rhythm whatsoever. A lot of first throw turnovers on their possessions.
There's plenty of elite club experience, though, on this Snake Country roster. I don't think they're going to be intimidated by the start.
Pryle, certainly one of those players that fits that description. He resets to Chris Waite. And Waite looking for Pryle now downfield. Pryle going to give it a bid, but knocked away by Fleming.
Chris Waite, a little too literally living up to the name, waiting too long to put up that throw. You could see Pryle had to come all the way back to it. You really want to get that throw out to space and throw it a bit earlier.
Yeah, Pryle losing what advantage he had, earned for himself downfield thanks to the late and floaty throw. And now Shame looking to come back the other way. And there, they show you how to connect on the hook. That one hits Aubrey Dietrich in stride. So after the timeout, things continuing just how they were before. Shame with another break. The slow start for Snake Country continues.
I mean, if Snake Country can't find a way to take Shame out of this boosted game, they're going to watch this team waltz through the rest of this. It's really what Shame prefers to do. But I almost feel like Snake Country's lack of offensive rhythm is starting to impact their defense. It's kind of like in basketball when you're missing a lot of shots and suddenly you're giving up fast breaks. It feels a bit like the momentum of the game always is staying in Shame's favor because the Snake Country offense isn't establishing any rhythm and starting to dictate the pace a little bit.
Yeah, really every aspect of this game strongly in favor of Shame through these first 6 points.
And if they were hoping to get the traditional O-line a bit of a break, not much rest offered.
No, they go out there, a quick turnover, give them a quick break on a hook the other way. Snake Country still looking for answers. Impressive start from Shame, though. It's not all just been Snake Country blunders. Shame, on the other hand, strong out of the gates. See another pull coming down from Fiacco. Looked like Snake Country was quickly out to midfield, but Lundquist drops that one just straight off her hands on the open under. The unforced errors continue for Snake Country. Shame with another gift of an opportunity to break. Anderson swinging that one to Pesh in the middle. Was able to continue to Hugh Carey to flip the field. And that throw behind Anderson. Spencer Tibbs with the turnover. Snake Country getting a little fortunate there on the cusp of giving up another break, but really just a poor throw out of the hands of Tibbs. Ooh, throw into traffic. Pesh pulls out wisely to avoid contact, and the hook there pulled in. Finally a completed big play for Snake Country as McNaughton goes up. And now they continue to the end zone to Lundquist for the score. So finally something going the way of Snake Country. They end the Shame run. Finally get the hole.
And perhaps that'll break open the dam. McNaughton going high for this guy, and then a slick around backhand Over to Lundqvist. And now the O-line getting off the old-fashioned way, getting the D-line on the field with a goal. They've gotten with plenty of room, make it a little 2-on-2 game, attack that break side, textbook.
Still, though, just barely avoiding giving up another break. Shame will probably rue that missed opportunity, open throw just behind the intended target.
Well, think of how different a 6-1 lead looks from a 5-2 one, you know? A 6-1 lead feels like a blowout. A 5-2, that's still a game.
Yeah, 6-1 feels like it's over, not just a blowout. I mean, 6-1, pretty big lead to take in a first half. 5-2 still pretty comfortable, particularly receiving. But you really did feel like Snake Country was on the ropes there, really needing one just to get a foot in this game. So perhaps that hold will be just that. Now at least an opportunity to get some of these breaks back with their defense out there. It'll be Pesh catching the pull and centering it to Westbrook. Westbrook finds Marilyn Reich underneath. Saved with the leaping grab by Daly Morgan.
This is the flow Shame really wants. Just getting out of hands quickly. They're getting sideline to sideline. Cutter's attacking those sidelines hard. But then just a miscommunication between Coulter and Pesh results in a turnover.
Just as Keith begins to praise the Shame offense, they commit the error to give Snake Country the disc. Jesse Wolf starting the offense for Snake Country. Now with David Reshef, he gives it back to Wolf. He's lining up a big one downfield, but that one too far for Colette Pellegrini.
Perhaps misaligned there. That one didn't even come out of the hand the way I think he intended.
This one coming out of the hand with force from Coulter, but knocked away downfield. Nice play defensively. Annie Fisher with the play for Snake Country to take it back. Snake Country, second chance to get one of these breaks back of this point. Wolf blading it around. Reshef makes the leaping grab to save it. Pellegrini saving that one from a turnover. Reshef with it once again. Wolf to Pellegrini. Pellegrini throws into traffic, but it's caught by Wolf. And Wolf gets it over the top to the open Waldo Cox for the score. So Snake Country took him a couple chances, but they do get that break back. And Keith, we said 6-1 feels very different from 5-2, and that's exactly why Snake Country gets the break back within 2 goals.
Not exactly pretty. I mean, it's not what you would show someone as an idyllic version of Ultimate, but it does get the job done. I mean, Snake Country able to navigate some tricky situations. You get a big block, you turn around and punch in the red zone score. Nobody's going to remember the style with which these goals were scored. They're just going to remember the final score. And bringing it back within 2 feels very manageable for this Boston club.
They all count the same, as they say. Take another look at the throw from Wolf, finding the open Cox. So nice response from Snake Country. You know, they finally get the hold after the big play downfield. Come right back with their first opportunity to get the D-line back out there, get one of those breaks back. Ease a little bit of that pressure. Still plenty of time to get back in this one. Get a good look at Kira Lindgren there on the O-line for Shame.
These two teams, I think both feel like, hey, we could make quarterfinals and nationals, go perhaps further. The mixed division here at the Pro Championship is probably the one with the most contenders who aren't in attendance. You think of teams like Seattle Mixtape, Seattle BFG, San Francisco Mischief.
Snake Country making semifinals last year, their first year as a club.
Two teams last year doing that. Two much talked about teams, both of which on the live stream today. Space Heater in the previous game, Snake Country in this one.
See, play comes to a stop as a result of a call downfield. Disc with Westbrook. He checks it back in. Low forehand across the field, connecting with Jade McLaughlin. But that throw errant to the end zone, so another turnover from the Shame offense. Snake Country will have an opportunity to get another break back. See, off the fingertips there on the throw to the end zone.
Shoes really on the other foot now as Shame's lost all the connectivity that made those first few points so heavily weighted in their favor.
Cox finding Levins. Again, play comes to a stop downfield. Disc back in now, and Levins resets. Lauren Doyle bringing it back to Cox, but once again we have a call downfield.
Doyle, another addition to Snake Country. Played with a couple different teams over the past few seasons. Also just helped organize the Eurostars tour, which just completed.
Doyle able to get the late reset off to Waite, but Waite's shot to the end zone, not the throw he was looking for, well beyond the reach of his intended target down there.
Another opportunity here for Westbrook and Shame. Westbrook, longtime player on Johnny Bravo, joining Shame this year.
Ryan Morgan able to get it back to Westbrook. And there, that one always too low out of the hand. So Shame, again, the offensive miscues haunting them here. Short field this time for Snake Country. There's Doyle looking for the upline off the fingertips of Tessa Jones, though. Shame looking for most of the yardage all in one throw. They get it. All alone back there as Dietrich. And now Shame knocking on the door of the hold, and there it is, the little flip to Lindgren. It wasn't exactly picture perfect ultimate from either side. It's Shame, though, who's able to hold on and get the goal, get the defense back out there, thanks to the blown coverage deep.
Do you think we're seeing signs of fatigue from these two teams, Daniel? I mean, there's a definite lack of execution and polish that we're seeing right now. It's unclear to me if that's because this is the last round of the day for them and they've already got a couple games under their belt in the sun, or whether there's just a lack of urgency from either side.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, we haven't really seen a ton of players looking completely winded, but I think by this point of the day you can be mentally fatigued almost more than anything else. Hard to maintain that concentration and focus through every play that you need to be efficient at this level. But definitely neither team, I don't think, would feel like they're playing their best ultimate so far in this game.
It's Shame with a really important score there as well, I think. Giving up 3 straight would have really put this game back on balance for the most part. But they get to hold their advantage. See if they can get this Snake Country defense rattled once more. Or Snake Country offense, excuse me.
Fleming unleashing a big backhand pull downfield. Garcia yet again catching the centering pass, throwing into traffic a little bit there, but caught by McNaughton without too much trouble. Garcia looking for Cohen. Instead going to hit Whitehead for the reset. Whitehead dishing it right back. Again, McNaughton, this time with a big gainer underneath. He's going to look to continue with the forehand to the end zone successfully. Chelsea Woody Garcia making the grab down there. So a rare, clean point there as Snake Country works their way down for the hold.
Woody Garcia with a nice cut, streaking up that open side. She's in her first tournament with the team this season. And I think maybe Shane blew the switch on this. And that helped free up Garcia, who trucked to the end zone. McNaughton gets his second assist.
Keith, I know you're tracking the stats over there. Is that our first turnover-free point of the game?
That is our third, shockingly enough.
Wow. Well, it's
but two
like
of
it's
them
been
were
a
in the
little while.
very beginning.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, we had the initial break, and then 2 points in a row were scored without turnovers. Both hucks, so it was a huck to maybe a dish afterwards. Definitely the recipe for keeping the turnovers away seems to be to connect on your hucks.
It certainly helps when you're able to get a lot of or all of the field all in one throw. Of course, the more throws you're forced to make, the more likely you are to turn one of them over.
The conundrum of the percentages. You want a lot of easy throws or one hard throw, you know?
Really, you just want to catch the disc in the end zone at the end of the point. Whatever makes that more likely.
Point A to point B is less an issue.
Yes. Coulter brings it over to Tibbs. Tibbs looking for it all in one throw. A battle in the sky. Neither player able to get to it. So chalk that one up to the defense.
Looking for Morgan on the end, and Morgan really gets there first, but can't bring it in. Enough pressure from the defense to make it a tough play.
Chambers able to find Fisher. Fisher drops it back on the reset. Reshef making that grab under pressure from Coulter. And then taken away right there underneath by Reich. And looking the throw to Reich, but knocked away. Floaty throw, and it's knocked away there in the end zone by Grinsweig. Nice play underneath by Marilyn Reich. Is wasted on the hurried pass to the end zone.
I like the intent of fast breaking. Nice save there, but by Quella, but you got to make sure that you have a clear path to the goal.
Quella knifes a forehand into Reshef. Reshef's throw well behind his intended target, but we have a foul call on the throw. And very quickly uncontested by Coulter on the mark. This time the connection is there. Reshef to Wolf. Wolf centers it back to Quella, who swings it to the far side. Back with Reshef. He's going to go for the forehand. Comes out a little awkwardly. Little hitch in the throw there from Reshif, and it leads to a turnover.
Back-to-back turnovers for Reshif on this point. We'll see if they can make him pay.
Big backhand off the hands. Perfect throw from Westbrook, dropped down in the red zone. Another unforced turnover between these two teams. Quella airing it out. A couple of Shame defenders in the area. That one's tipped up dangerously, but ultimately falls to the floor.
These don't necessarily even feel like hucks that are set up well. I mean, this is just kind of chucking it right now, and you could see the results on the field.
Big gainer to Dietrich, but her continue to the end zone, intercepted by Quella. Never a chance in the end zone for her intended target.
So it looks like Snake Country relaxing things a little bit, trying to grind out some unders.
There's the strike from Wolf, getting open for Fisher, gets it back to Quella.
Quella really found a great position by Wolf. That was a great setup, but the Cutters just weren't ready to take advantage of it for Snake Country.
Pellegrini stuffed at the throw by Pesh. And Westbrook going to pick up and immediately call a timeout as a long back and forth now broiling between these two sides. Two teams will try to clean it up through the timeout. See how they do that on the other side. A small break.
Every time the pressure rises, we play better.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Brute Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.
A bit of a sloppy slugfest brewing here between these two sides. Boston Snake Country and Fort Collins Shame. Not been one for the offenses. Shame with the disc. It'll be with Owen Westbrook on the outside of this timeout.
One of the interesting things about the way that these two teams are playing this game is they both have to feel like it's still well within their grasp because they're both making mistakes that feel correctable. So you feel like if we're that team that corrects these errors first, we can just go on a run before the other team even knows what hit them.
We've already seen one run from Shame, open up a 5-1 lead. Another unforced turnover, an easy interception for Quella. So timeout not getting its intended consequence for Snake Country. Or excuse me, for Shame, and Snake Country will have the chance to come back the other way. Just outside the end zone now is Fisher. And Fisher able to squeeze it into Wolf for the score. Snake Country, they're the benefactors after the timeout. They get the score to pull back within one.
Just like that. I mean, we said it hasn't been pretty yet. It hasn't been how they probably want to draw it up, but they're back within one with a chance to seize control of this game if they could tighten up their level of play. I mean, that was a very close catch. But just Wolf just able to seal out the defender enough to finish that off. And I think that was a high stall situation. Manages to free them up.
Stall definitely seemed to be creeping up towards 10. This Fisher's maybe 4th, 5th, 6th look. But it works out in the end. they get the break to pull back within 1. But Keith, you mentioned just outside that timeout that really neither team has been playing well. You know, it feels very much up for grabs, and Shame's lead, which was 5-1 not long ago, has nearly almost entirely vanished.
Well, they started the game with a break, so they know they're going to receive out of half. As soon as they trade here, they're still going to be in a pretty favorable position. But they got away from what was working for them, which was setting up opportunities to go deep, and instead of just kind of like really rushed, kind of harried options. Here they have 4 women coming out for this point, and we'll see if that alters the way that this one progresses. All 4 of those women cutting. I will say very little handling by the women on either team in this game so far.
It's Westbrook getting that pass to Morgan. Play comes to a stop with traffic downfield.
What count did you reach? It's going to be, no, all right, thanks.
See Anna Bador and Jade McLaughlin having a conversation downfield.
Come in on 1.
And after all that, the disc is back in play with the stall at 0. Back with Westbrook. Strong forehand to the break side. Westbrook gets the reset back from McLaughlin. But that one not on target. So Snake Country takes over once again with the D-line. Another chance to break here and draw level.
Westbrook tries the OIO forehand and just a bit too high.
Wait, popping it over the top, but over the head of his intended target, Lundquist, as well. Westbrook goes to the hammer, successfully connecting with Morgan. Disc now with Kelsey Glick. She drops it back to Westbrook.
This is a strategy Shame has employed today, going with 4 women downfield, looking to just grind out the opposition with their speed and athleticism.
Turner to continue sliding grab from Lindgren, able to save it. Morgan to McLaughlin, who centers it back to Westbrook. McLaughlin cuts across the front of the stack.
Love the long give and go from McLaughlin, able to use her speed to her advantage in that situation.
And now a high release. Westbrook has the advantage. He goes up, makes the grab. Wasn't pretty offense to cap off the point, but impressive offense from Shame to get them into that goal scoring area. And they are finally able to end the Snake Country run with a hold of their own.
McLaughlin with a speculative throw, to say the least, but a nice safe play made by Westbrook on the receiving end. Holds position and then brings it in with one hand over the smaller defender. Now Shame just a point away from taking half. I mean, this game has felt very back and forth. And not just because possession is constantly being shifted that way.
Right, it's been a game of runs from both teams. Shame jumping out to a 5-1 lead, and then Snake Country getting it back to within 6-5.
I mean, sidelines are pretty quiet. You're not seeing a lot of energy. You're not seeing a ton of celebration. And I think halftime will probably do both of these teams some good.
Shame with an opportunity to force half here on this point if they get the break. It'll be Rains on the pull once he's ready. lets it drop, catches it on the one hop. Centers to Garcia. Underneath is Whitehead. Garcia swinging it to Cohen. Quick offhand backhand to Springer. Snake Country working quickly out across midfield. Another offhand backhand, this time for Cohen. She reels it in. Springer to the end zone. Quick, beautiful offense. We've not seen a lot of that, but Snake Country pulls it off there. Kim Kolpin caps it off with the goal. Snake Country home.
Yeah, that's the game we expected, I think, to see more of from Snake Country. Attacking the break side, getting the disc moving quickly, accessing that part of the field where the downfield defense is already out of position. And that starts really with Pryles setting up that inside break, the offhand side. That sets up the domino effect. Cohen continues to the break side, another throw to the break side, and then in the end zone for the goal.
Again, a rare clean hold, if my memory serves, is the fourth one of this game. What has made this game, kind of get to this point is not necessarily that there haven't been that many clean holds, but it's when they haven't been clean, they've been very not clean. Lots of turns back and forth.
Dirty, I believe.
Yes. Messy, perhaps. Inefficient. But both teams have shown glimpses of, of how effective their offenses can be when they aren't committing unforced errors.
Well, I wonder if we're going to see any defensive adjustments. I guess the offenses haven't really been that smooth, but anything that can help you generate a short field turn or get you a fast break could make a big difference in this game, given how small the margin is. So a force middle, a change in force, a lane poach. I wonder if we'll see either team try and apply some strategies now that we're deeper into the game and they have a better sense of each other's personnel and personality.
Quilla sending it down the pole. It'll be caught by Pesh. Coulter a little low for his target, but it's grabbed. Solid gain to just short of midfield to Dietrich.
It looks like there was a deep poach by Snake Country there, and great job recognizing it coming under by Dietrich. But the rest of her teammates can't maintain possession long enough to truly take advantage.
Simple unforced drop from Reich right when the Shame offense seemed to be clicking. Snake Country looking for the break right away. The hook to Reshef, and that is on the money. Quick one throw possession for the break.
Doyle picking up and boosting, showing off the power. And I commented earlier that we hadn't seen a lot of the women getting the chance to handle in this game. And maybe we'll get some more of it if Doyle can pick up and initiate points with that kind of power. Gives Reshef basically an unchallenged opportunity to come down with the goal. And we are back to even. After a 5-1 start to this game, it's now 7-7.
Shame will still have a chance to take half. But since that 5-1 start, the offense has had some hiccups.
Right now, the defenses and offenses are tied. So it is 7-7, defenses and offenses. So somebody's going to have the lead, both on the field and in the defensive-offensive battle in this game after this point.
Coming down defensively is Snake. Short pulls will be a relatively short field for Shame. Westbrook hits Pesh. Reich going to the end zone with the backhand, able to bend it over the defense and find Dietrich for the score. So a quick one-possession hold for Shame. They will take a one-break lead into the half after all that.
Dietrich just uncovered in the back. Not sure what happened defensively. Maybe a switch, maybe a poach to help somewhere, but Dietrich takes off. And then a nice throw on fading to that back end side, so the poach could not recover to try and make a play on it.
Certainly an eventful first half between these two. Shame up on Boston Snake Country, 8-7, up one break at half. They'll try to take advantage of that lead in the second when we come back in just a moment.
I'm a high flyer, got the right stuff. I'm the king of heart, I got the good stuff. I'm a high flyer, I got the right stuff. I'm the king of heart, I got the good stuff. I'm a high flyer, I got the right stuff. I'm the king of heart, got the good stuff. It's gonna be forever. 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 Got the right stuff. Stuff. Got the right stuff. I got the good stuff. Stuff. I got the good stuff.
Every time the pressure rises, we play better. Let's go take down the field.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Fruit Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.
Just one half remaining on this first day of the 2019 Pro Championships here in Philadelphia, PA. Fort Collins Shame up 8-7 on Boston Snake Country. Wasn't exactly a pristine half of Ultimate by any means, but back and forth action. Either team will feel like they have a good chance of taking this one in the second half. Keith, is there anything you'd like to see adjustment-wise in these two teams? They
More
both
hammers.
struggled. More hammers.
No, I mean, I wouldn't mind if Owen Westbrook tossed a few more. But, No, both teams have to generate more offensive motion in order to get the deep game going. Particularly, you know, I think we think that's one of Shame's strengths. You want to get those hucks coming from good position where those athletes can go and get the disc. It's out in front of them. Snake Country, I think their adjustments really need to be defensive. I mean, and that may come from having a little more patterned offense where they control the tempo a bit rather than giving Shane the opportunity to get on fast breaks. But if they have to tighten up the efficiency, make Shane pay for the mistakes that they make. It's a very close game, though. It's hard to forget the big lead that Shane jumped out to start. But I mean, it's almost anyone's ball game at this point.
Definitely anyone's ball game, I would say, particularly with neither offense really able to find even a stretch in that first half of dominance. It feels like any of these points really could go either way, let alone this game. We'll see if either offense is able to eliminate those mistakes. It'll be Shame out there on offense to start this half. Westbrook trying to get open for the reset. Good defense from Quella. So instead the reset goes to Coulter. Now it's in the hands of Westbrook. There's a hammer for you, Keith. Coulter able to get it over the top.
Appreciate you.
Westbrook able to save that one.
And it feels like the Shame deep cuts are generating from a little too deep right now. So by the time the thrower looks up, cuts are already a little too far away to make it a really viable option.
Players can get things sorted out downfield, and Westbrook taps the disc back into play. Forehand to the far side, hits Lindgren right in the chest, unable to make the grab. Snake Country, the benefactors of that miscue, taking over in the Shame half of the field.
Chance for Snake Country to apply some of that efficiency I was mentioning and really punish Shame for when they give away the disc.
Working quickly down the far sideline. Pellegrini able to get it off to Quella. We have a pick call downfield that'll bring the Snake Country momentum to a stop for the moment. Quella resets to Pellegrini, have another pick call. Players get it sorted out, and Pellegrini taps it back into play. Wolf able to beat Coulter underneath. Snake Country in the red zone, and there a red zone turnover. Swatted away by Snuska for good measure, and some pinball there has the disc back in the hands of Snake Country. And now quick throws there in the red zone. They get the break. So a little rapid fire exchange of turnovers. Snake Country, they get the break to start the second half. We are all tied up.
Who do I credit that block to? Yeah, that was an odd moment. Quella gets the initial block, and it pings right into the hands of his teammate, Waldo Cox. Cox also getting the goal on the other end. So, I mean, in some ways, it's a bookends.
Maybe you could credit the block to Quella and then the initial catch to Cox. I think you would have to score it that way.
Perhaps. Westbrook trying the static huck, and I think it was a little too obvious there. After Quella, I'm really getting a chance to redeem himself after a miscommunication error on the previous possession for a red zone turnover.
It feels a little surreal that this game is now 8-8.
It does, but I'm excited about it. I mean, I think maybe this will invigorate the teams a little bit after the first half got a little unfocused at points.
It'll be Whitehead on the pull for Snake Country. Bit of a line drive pull. And they'll get to do it again as a result of an offsides.
We talked about on a previous broadcast how likely to see a rules update where the offense can kind of decline the offsides and keep the bad pull.
So it'll be Whitehead, the benefactor, getting to re-pull. This one a bit more loft to it, more hang time for his D-line mates.
And that stops the first throw. The advantages of a good pull.
All in the backfield so far for Shane. Disc with Morgan. Now Coulter.
Anderson with some big cuts to gain a lot of yards.
Trapped on the sideline. Last second turn up the field from Daly Morgan. It leads to the turnover, despite the best efforts of it to be saved. Whitehead hits the disc in the middle. Now with Fisher. Whitehead cut strike, gains power position. Looked downfield for the forehand, decided to holster. Now back with Doyle. A lot of contact on the mark. Excuse me, Keith.
It seems like Snake Country is a little disorganized right now. I see players looking at each other, asking each other to clear, not sure where they should be clearing to. Feels like a team that maybe is a little out of practice or something, but they got to get on the same page and soon, because they have a great opportunity to take advantage of this game.
Touch something. Did you contact me as I pivoted? I set ground.
Hey, contested foul, come to me.
Okay. I'll come to you.
All right. Is it ruling? It was a foul. It's coming out one. All right, it's going to come out one.
I'd say I'm a little surprised that Coulter was arguing that one. I mean, there seemed to be 3 instances where there could have been a foul. And now we see a Huck turnover. No chance for any Snake Country player to get to that long throw from Waite. He's had a couple of errant long balls in this game.
I mean, that one didn't really have a chance. It was very obvious, and multiple defenders peeling off to help. A pump fake there gives you a ton of advantage, but Waite just falls right into the trap.
Reich with it. She is going to go for the hammer. This one floating dangerously. Coulter, though, up to the challenge. He's unleashing a big forehand downfield. Reshif with the blind block. Just with tight coverage, able to get the disc back. Not sure how much he really knew about that one. Waite getting things started for Snake Country the other way.
I believe that's 5 turnovers for Coulter in this one.
And we have a timeout called on the disc by Whitehead.
Only slightly pushing him ahead of Waite, who has 4.
Not the stat leaderboard you want to be pushing for, generally speaking.
Just call him like I see him. I mean,
Fair enough. We appreciate the stats of all kinds, Keith. But we have another marathon point between these two. Has been kind of the prevailing theme to this game, really. And as the two teams try to figure things out offensively, we will join them back in just a moment. 8-8 game between Snake Country and Shame. Another long point between the two. Snake Country calling a timeout to try to figure things out offensively as the cap horn goes off. So after whoever scores this one does punch it in, we will play a game to 11. Reshef works hard to get the under, but his throw for Bador goes off the fingertips, not leading Bador to where her momentum was taking her. So Shame taking back over, disc with Coulter. He gets it to the middle via Morgan.
Shame's done a great job in a couple of those specific instances, attacking the face guarding reset defender by throwing out to space and getting it off the line with advantageous position.
Morgan attacking the forehand side, able to find Reich. Reich coming across, finds Anderson in the front. We've seen that a couple of times where the team calls timeout, and it leads to a quick score for the other side. Shame coming out on top this time around to open up that 9-8 lead.
Reich with her second straight assist. Nice throw across field. Able to capitalize on some of the disorganization. I feel like both stacks are drifting a bit right now, and that's making it difficult for them to create deep space, but does create some extra room around on that cross-field side. Anderson able to catch that fading throw, but I think both teams are drifting. They're starting to move in the direction that they plan to cut while they're in the stack, which continues to push the stack further and further away from the disc. And they're not adjusting when the resets go backwards. So the disc is now further away from the stack again. So once that reset goes backwards, the stack actually has to adjust the position to try and stay tethered at a reasonable distance from where the disc is located. And we're not seeing a lot of that discipline in the stack. And that's taken away the deep lanes for both of these teams.
The result of the last score, Shame has the advantage. 2 more goals, and they will be the winners.
I gotta say, apropos of nothing, the Shame logo kind of makes me sad. I mean, it's like shaming the dog. I mean, he's got the cone.
The cone of shame, as they call it.
It's a medical cone. It's like for he needs the cone. It's sad. I don't want the dog to be sad. I don't want to shame him.
Snake Country looking to answer with a hold. Kolpin with the gainer out across midfield.
Well timed to go underneath after the McNaughton deep cut opened up that underneath space for Kolpin.
Pryle unleashing a big forehand downfield. Knocked away at the last second by Dietrich. Pryle was looking for Cohen.
Just a static huck from Pryle. A bit hopeful. I feel like they really haven't gotten him on the move where he can use his cutting speed to generate yardage, generate power positions.
Fleming going long for Anderson. That one's too far. So an exchange of huck turns has the disc back with Snake Country.
Put that record on repeat, Prentice. A lot of exchanges of huck turns.
May have another here, and we do. That throw over everyone's head. It was Fleming who got nearest to it for Shame. John Snyder picking up, gets it to Fleming. Fleming with a little give-go. Now looking for the end zone with the backhand. Caught under pressure. And they continue to the end zone for the score. Shame able to get the break on the second opportunity. Finally able to initiate a little bit of offense, not just settling for the early huck. The give-go from Fleming, getting them into scoring position. take advantage and now have some breathing room late.
And I hate to toot my own horn, but when you ask me about what I want to see Shame do differently, it's get some of these hucks in motion. And you see Fleming generating that opportunity right there with the give and go up the break side, gets the disc in power position, no mark, and even though the end result was a contested catch, it's a much better position to create your hucks from. And they get the completion, able to find that continue, big break to take a 2-goal lead. Now they're knocking on the door of the victory.
Feels like it's come out of nowhere, really, but as you mentioned, Keith, Shame now on the verge of the win. Another break would do it.
Feels like both these teams are missing a few pieces that may contribute for them. I know certainly Snake Country is. Misha Hershkew has been decleated all game. No Chelsea Murphy here for them. Shame's had some players who seem like they've perhaps been a little limited. So I think both teams are missing a few pieces, not at full capacity, but not that I think either would say that this is the best foot forward, even given the personnel.
Snake Country in need of a hold and then a pair of breaks. They're going to pull this comeback off. It's Quella with the stall rising. Gets it to Grinsvig, who gives it right back. Grab at his shoelaces from McNaughton.
Snake Country starting to find some discernible downfield shape. Players have been kind of scattered around. But the handlers have done a great job keeping the disc moving, and the cutters are churning out the underyards when it's available.
Quella going to bring it to Garcia. We have a pick that stops the move.
Garcia just such an experienced presence on this Snake Country team. Been in a lot of different situations. I think there's a lot of trust in what he can do for them.
Able to break the mark with that throw. Finding Woody Garcia. Out of the throw just outside the end zone to Kolpin. And Garcia going every other here. Taking over in the red zone. Quella gets it back to Garcia, and again he breaks the mark on the around. And in the throw to the end zone, Grinsvig completing the pass, able to find Kolpin for the score. So Snake Country, they work hard, they work through the defense, get the hold to stay in this one.
Like you mentioned, a lot of Garcia at the end of that, and then Grinsvig with the dangerous inside forehand, and you could see it almost escape to get behind Kolpin, but she reaches out behind her and pulls it in. You could see excited to have made a play on what could have been a tough catch. It was nearly a brutal turnover. But instead, it's a goal.
And Shame will have 2 chances to hold for the win.
Daniel, I'm going to go out on a limb here, thinking they might go for a huck.
You think so?
I don't know. I just got a feeling, a hunch.
What could about this game could possibly lead you to that expectation, Keith?
It's my years of wisdom and really and insight.
Well, we shall see momentarily.
Almost 20 years of ultimate experience being applied to this
Wow.
moment.
That's more than I would have expected of you, Keith, I have to say.
I think I'm between 18 and 19 right now. I'm like working into 19. That's almost 20, right?
How old were you when you started playing?
A freshman in high school, so does 13, 14?
14, I believe, yeah. See, the pull coming down from Snake Country will sail well out of bounds. In fact, into the end zone of the neighboring field. So Shame will get to start at the brick mark. It's Coulter who will start with the disc there.
Isolation sets up a deep shot for Snuska. We've seen this before.
Keith proven right on the first throw of the possession. Shame completes the huck to complete the win over Boston Snake Country. Nice throw on the standstill from Coulter to find his teammate downfield. Snuska getting up as he started this game. Getting up for a big grab. Finishes it the same way. So Shame takes this one 11-9 over Snake Country. Back and forth game the whole way.
I'm not sure I really understand that final point, why you don't back the guy or get some help or something. He's on an island and clearly is their deep receiver, but Shame able to take advantage and after jumping out to that big lead, finish off this game with style, just as they would like.
So Shame holds on for the win after the hot start. A little bumpy there in the middle, but they hang on. That completes Ultiworld's live coverage of the first day from the 2019 Pro Championships. We'll be back with lots more tomorrow for day 2. Should be a good one. For Keith Rayner, I've been Daniel Prentice. Thanks for tuning in.
Every time the pressure rises, we play better. Let's go, take down the field.
An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis,
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
documentary shorts,
And we've played Brute Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
and a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.